What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about some silver. In today's video, I wanted to pretty much go over how you and your stack of silver can see some serious progress, especially over the long term, if you commit to picking up 1 ounce of silver every single week. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. 4 super quick things before we fully dive into the video. Number 1, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We got the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, if you haven't already, try out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I believe an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to get started, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so, and they make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate on the app. Remember, I do want to take 3 people before the end of the month and help them learn about the stock market and help them kickstart their investment portfolios. I've already helped 2, so if you'd like to be the last one, please reach out. Webull link in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on, any and all stacking supplies and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. All right, so in today's video, we're going to be dialing in on the silver. We're going to be locking in on the silver, the beautiful white metal, which, by the way, as I'm recording this video on April 26th. I believe this video is going to be coming out on the 28th, so obviously things are probably going to be a little bit different, but the current spot price as I'm recording the video is $33.05. It's down 47 cents or down 1.42%. That's for silver. And while we're already here, spot price of gold is $3,318.30. It's down $30.50 or down 0.91%. A nice red day, a red weekend for the precious metals. So today I wanted to talk about something. I wanted to talk about this 1 troy ounce of silver per week concept that I was really just thinking about. Now, it doesn't have to be, dead set on 1 troy ounce of silver every single week, no matter what. If there's a week that you can't do it, no big deal. If there's a week you have a little extra and you can get 2, 3, 4 troy ounces of silver or more, if possible, be my guest. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be precise. It doesn't have to be exactly 1 ounce of silver, and it doesn't have to be exactly every single week. But I was thinking about it today. Stacking on a fairly small scale, but a consistent scale. Little by little, 1 ounce of silver at a time, you get closer and closer and closer to your goal. So if you can figure out a way to scrape up at this time, maybe $35, $36, $37 each week, and go and get yourself 1 troy ounce of silver, that's all it takes. So with silver right now, something that I'm doing, something that I've been talking about for maybe the last week or so, something that I'm committing to this year is I'm going to be getting a handful of silver every chance I get. I don't know if that's going to be every single week. It's probably going to be, more likely once every 2 weeks or once or twice a month or something like that. And I don't have an exact troy ounce of silver amount that I'm going after. I'm going to get what I can get with what I have left over at the end of the week or at the end of the month or whatever. I don't care if it's 1 ounce of silver. I don't care if it's 2 ounces of silver, 3 ounces of silver, 4 ounces of silver, 5, 10 ounces of silver, a kilo silver bar. I don't care what it is. What I have left over, I'm going to be taking a portion and putting it into silver. So obviously I kind of have my life set up in a very specific way. I keep my expenses as low as possible. I have bare bones expenses. I keep a roof over my head. I keep food in the fridge. I keep my car on the road. And to be honest with you, that's kind of all I really spend money on. I don't have high expenses. I don't have a tremendous amount of stuff to pay for. I keep my expenses as low as humanly possible, and I don't frivolously spend. What I personally do, for the most part, where a majority goes, is I invest my dollars, because I am at the stage in my life where I'm young and I have quite a bit of time. Time is on my side. So I figured, you know what? I need to build something for myself. I need to build my net worth. I need to build some wealth. I need to grow the wealth. I can't just turn to silver and gold as a form of wealth preservation when I don't have any wealth to preserve just yet, which is why about 4.5, maybe 5 years ago, I started to aggressively invest. Of course, alongside investing, I would pick up a little tiny bit of silver and or gold from time to time. Here in 2025, I want to get more silver and gold. And I've been talking about this concept that I have. I don't know what I'm calling it. I'm calling something along the lines of Project Growing the Herd. And by that I mean this year, when I'm talking about the ounce of silver every week, again, it doesn't have to be every single week, and it doesn't have to be 1 ounce of silver. It could be a silver quarter for all I care. It doesn't matter. What I'm doing personally is I am loading up on silver buffaloes. Now, of course, these are silver buffaloes that I've always had. I have one on screen right here, and I also have another one over here, and I have even more in some tubes for silver rounds, which, by the way, if you need any tubes, whether they be mint tubes for silver eagles or airtight tubes for higher premium coins or generic tubes for generic rounds, those will be linked in the description. Super good way of staying organized and keeping your silver and gold nice, sleek and clean, organized, know where everything is, so on and so forth. Different tubes for different types of silver. But here's the thing. That's what I plan on doing. My quote-unquote ounce of silver a week is going to be the silver buffalo, for the most part. Now, there will be times where 2 or 3 weeks go by and I don't get any silver. I'm not coming to getting exactly an ounce of silver exactly every single week. It's just to give everybody an idea, because I feel like most people are probably in a position where they can afford $30-something every week. And if there are any people out there who are saying that no, most people can't afford $30-something a week, to that I say, if you have a Netflix account, if you go out to eat, if you go bowling, if you go do this, if you go do that, if you go do this, you go buy that, you go spend money here, you spend money there, yeah, you absolutely do have $30-something left over at the end of the week. So if you have, let's just say, what do I have right here? I have 20, 30, 35, 37, $38 right here. We have a 20, we have a 10, we have a 5, a 2, and a single. This right here, right now, is more than enough to get yourself an ounce of silver. An ounce of silver right now, spot price is $33. If you factor in a little bit of a premium, you're looking at $35, maybe $36. So what I have in my hand right here, this is more than enough to get yourself an ounce of silver. And if you go to the local coin shop every week, or every other week, or once a month, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever makes sense for you, whatever makes sense in your life, you go to the coin shop. However often makes sense for you, you go and pick yourself up an ounce of silver, or 2 or 3, or a handful of silver. That's all it takes. Little by little, small steps in the right direction will inevitably take you to where you want to go. And it's a good way of dollar cost averaging. See, if you get a little bit of silver today at $33, and then again a week from now at $32, and then 3 weeks after that at $35, and a month or two down the road it's $36, a month after that it's back down to $34, whatever, it all averages out. It evens out, and that's the best way of going about dollar cost averaging your way into whatever asset you are interested in. In this case, for the sake of this video, it would be silver. Buying a little bit at a time, buying what you can, when you can, regardless of the price, is dollar cost averaging. So if you want to do this on a weekly basis, if you get paid every single week and you know that you have an extra 30-something dollars at least, and by the way, if you have more than 30-something dollars, you don't have to throw it all into silver. But if you want to get a little bit of silver every week, $35 at the moment, $36 potentially, is all it really takes to get yourself an ounce of silver. So whether you want to go after a silver round, a coin, a bar, whatever, you can go to the coin shop. Whatever frequency makes the most sense for you, and go and get yourself a little bit of silver. Next time, rinse and repeat. Then rinse and repeat again. Then rinse and repeat again. And guess what? You're going to work your way up to 10 troy ounces of silver. And at that point, you can trade those 10 troy ounces of silver for one 10-ounce silver bar, if that's what you choose to do. So you might not have the cash to go and get yourself a 10-ounce silver bar right now, which would cost you probably close to $350, $360 at this time. With the current spot price factoring in a little bit of a premium, it's probably going to cost you about $350. If you don't have that on you, but you have about $35, $36, go and get yourself an ounce of silver. Do the same thing next week, the week after that, the week after that. Work your way up to 10, and guess what? You can trade those 10 troy ounces for 10 troy ounces. Just a mere conversion. So if you're setting out to go after a 10-ounce silver bar, you can do so that way, if you choose. Or you can save up. Wait until you have 20 troy ounces of silver. Or a kilo worth of silver, which is just a hair over 32 troy ounces of silver. Or if you want to go after gold, if your eye is on the prize and that prize happens to be the beautiful yellow metal, you can, little by little by little by little, pick up silver in small denominations, 1, 2, 3, 4 troy ounces at a time, every week or every other week or once a month or once every 2 months, whatever makes sense for you and in your life. Work your way up to enough silver to equate to a troy ounce of gold. Now, with the current spot price of the two metals, the gold to silver ratio is about 1 to 100, so it would take you about, roughly, approximately 100 troy ounces of silver to acquire 1 troy ounce of gold. I don't know if now is the right time to be trading any silver for gold, because you would more than likely want to do that when the gap closes in. Probably don't want to do it at 1 to 100. 1 to 75 would be a little bit nicer. 1 to 50 would be fantastic. Anything tighter than that, even better. Right now is probably not the best time to trade silver for gold because the ratio is so far apart. Point being is, if that's what you want to do and you want to use silver as a vehicle to get you to gold, you have that ability to do so. And if you think about it, let's just say you do want to commit to getting 1 ounce of silver every single week, no matter what. If you want to start today and you want to do this every single week for exactly 1 year, 1 year from today, you will have an additional 52 troy ounces of silver. 52 troy ounces of silver that you slowly, little by little, worked your way up toward. And guess what? It's like having a physical at-home savings account. A lot of people that are not involved in the precious metals, what do with the little bit of leftover currency that they have? Well, average people go and spend it, but what do slightly above average people do? They probably save it or invest it. And for those that are saving it, if they set aside enough cash every single week to get themselves a troy ounce of silver, except they don't get the troy ounce of silver, they just keep the cash, 52 weeks go by, you're going to have over $1,700 just by setting, about $33, $34, $35 aside every single week. That's what a lot of people treat savings accounts like. That's what a lot of people do with a savings account every week. They'll put a little tiny bit of cash in a savings account. Maybe they're working their way up for something. Maybe they're saving up for something. Maybe they're saving up for a car. Maybe they're saving up for a house or saving up for whatever it is that they're saving up for. Well, the silver I've always seen as a physical at-home savings account, a store of value, a way of preserving wealth and hedging against inflation. And odds are, by the time X amount of time goes by, years down the road, if you do this on a regular basis, years down the road, there's a good chance it's going to be worth more then than it is worth now. The savings account, on the other hand, will be worth about exactly the same. Maybe a couple dollars more because of that 0.01% interest that you're raking in. But the purchasing power of those dollar bills will have diminished because the purchasing power of the dollar bill sinks by 2.5% every year on a good year. On a bad year, it's far worse than that. 4%, 5%, 8%, 9% we've seen in recent years. We have seen the dollar bill lose purchasing power. We have seen silver, the spot price of silver, the spot price of gold, appreciate in value, or quote unquote appreciate in value. What I like to say is the dollar bill, as it weakens, silver and gold tend to strengthen. I think that's kind of what happened, because silver and gold spot price has gone up by almost the exact percentage that the dollar bill has gone down in the same amount of time. But either way, you can do this by getting yourself 1 troy ounce of silver every single week. If that's something that you're able to do, if that's something that you can afford, and if that's something that you are willing to commit to, small steps in the right direction will inevitably take you to where you want to go. And you don't have to limit yourself to 1 troy ounce of silver. If you have the ability, if you have the cash, the resources to get more, and if that's something that you choose to do, then be my guest. Get 2, 3, 4, 5 troy ounces of silver every week if that's what you want to do, or more. Whatever's possible. The cool thing about stacking silver is that it's not a race, and it's not a competition. And if you reach your first 100 ounces of silver before the next guy does, would you win? It's no competition. You're better than that person because you hit 100 and they're still at 94. It doesn't matter. Shoes on the other foot, vice versa. They hit it before you do. Who cares? What did you lose? Absolutely nothing. Guess what? You both won. Stacking silver and gold, it's one of those things. You know, I've never been a believer in participation trophies, but that's kind of what silver and gold are. If you're stacking the silver and gold, and if you are participating in the stacking of metals, you're kind of on track to win. Regardless of how much you're able to acquire, maybe you can only get an ounce of silver every week or every other week. And that guy over there can get, 20 ounces of silver every single week. 3, 4, 5 years go by. Guess what? You're both going to be in far better shape than the average person who's not stacking anything at all and isn't even saving cash. They're spending it. They have no savings. It's bad enough that they don't have, savings in something of actual value. It's bad enough that they didn't convert their dollars into silver and gold, which have real, true, intrinsic value, or invest those dollars in the stock market where there's fundamental value. Invest those dollars into real estate or a business of some sort. That's where dollar bills are better off. The dollar bills are better off in business, stocks, real estate, or potentially precious metals than to just be left as cash. It's bad enough that they're not stacking. It's bad enough that they're not investing. But they're not even saving cash. They're spending it. They spent it all on fast food. They spent it all on cheap, short-term thrills. They didn't do anything intelligent with the currency. They used the currency for something that's here today, gone tomorrow. What we're doing over here, not to say that, we're better, we're smarter, we're superior to those people. No, we just happen to have a hobby that kind of saves us money and could potentially grow, potentially appreciate in value. And, I, on the other hand, stacking is just kind of like a side hobby of mine. What I do with a majority of my leftover cash is invest it because I'm trying to build something for myself. My hobbies include saving money and growing money. And that's not even the primary objective. My hobbies just by default save me money. By default grow me money. It's a byproduct of something that I'm already interested in. I'm interested in index funds. I'm interested in coins, rounds, and bars. So I buy them. 1, preserves wealth, the other grows wealth. Thank God that these are my hobbies. Thank God that these are the things that have piqued my interest. Thank God that these are the things that fascinate me. Because other hobbies cost money. And sure, you get some form of value out of it because you're involved in something that you care about, something that you like, something that you're interested in, passionate about, or fascinated by. But this right here could very well end up being generational wealth. Long-term, real, true, sustainable wealth. That's what I like about the silver and gold. And some people, somebody who might just, might be getting started stacking for the first time, maybe they picked up their very first ounce of silver a couple days ago, and maybe they're watching this video right now, maybe they have like just a handful of silver in total. Maybe that person is looking at what they see on screen right here, a bunch of 10-ounce bars, 5-ounce bars, 5-ounce rounds, a bunch of coins, rounds, and bars. Maybe everything that they're looking at right here, in their eyes, seems like unrealistic. Like, oh my God, I'll never be able to get to that point. Now, this isn't a tremendous amount of silver. This isn't like an unfathomable amount of silver. But to somebody who's just stepping into the precious metal world and all they have is a small handful of coins, rounds, or bars, yeah, spot price is quite a bit higher today than it was when I first got started stacking, when I got a lot, probably like 85% of my silver. Yeah, it was easier to acquire it back then than it is today. And if I were to stack just as aggressively today as I did back then, I would only be able to acquire half the amount of silver because spot price has essentially doubled. It's actually more than doubled since then. So for the same amount of cash, I'm getting, 40% of the silver? For the same amount of cash I was putting into it 7 years ago. Crazy how that works. I look forward to finding out what the spot price of silver is going to be in 7 years from now. It's fun to think about. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to imagine where silver will be in the 2030s. It's fun to think about. But guess what? Regardless of what the spot price is, regardless of if you just got started or if you got started 7 years ago or 30 years ago, regardless if you haven't even gotten started yet, if you're committing to it and it's something that you want to get involved in, it's something that you want to be a part of for the long term, if it's something that you've done your own research on, you've studied, and you've made your own personal decision, you can go to the local coin shop and you can go and get yourself an ounce of silver right now. And you can get one again next week and the week after that. You can go and get yourself silver on a regular basis, little by little by little by little. And you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket by going all in on silver. I would actually recommend, and this is coming from somebody that's been stacking for 7 years, I would recommend that you don't do that. You should be diversifying your portfolio. You shouldn't be all in on anything. But if you want to get a little bit of silver, an ounce of silver every week or every other week, whatever makes sense for you, little by little, slowly but surely, brick by brick, small steps in the right direction will inevitably take you to where you want to go. And where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do I want to go? I want to have a mountain of silver. I don't want to have a stack of silver. I want a mountain of silver. I don't want to have a couple of silver buffaloes. I want an entire herd of buffaloes. And that's what I'm working on this year. Project Growing the Herd or something like that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it. But this is what I'm going to be getting for the most part. You know how I said get an ounce of silver every week or get a small handful of silver whenever you can? For me, it's going to be the silver buffalo. That's what I'm going to be picking up for the most part this year with a little bit of extra currency. And this is just what I'm going to be doing from one particular income stream, just a little bit. I'm going to get myself a silver buffalo or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever's possible. Little by little by little. And guess what? By the end of the year, who knows? I might have 25 silver buffaloes. I might have 50 silver buffaloes. You never know. I might have an entire stampede of buffaloes. Oh, that's it right there. Project Stampede 2025. Operation Stampede 2025. I like it. I just came up with that. Off the dome. But here's the thing. There are a couple other things that I'm saving up for as well. I'm using one particular income stream to pick up a little teeny tiny bit of silver buffaloes from time to time. I think by the end of the year I could work my way up to an additional 25 silver buffaloes, maybe more, hopefully more. But I'm also going to be saving up for a couple of other pieces that I have on my quote-unquote to-stack list. One of them being, two of them being some 2-ounce silver coins from a relatively new coin series that was released about 2 or 3 years ago. So instead of 2, it's actually going to be 3 because I believe they're going to be releasing another one this year. So I would like to get those 2-ounce pieces, 2 going on 3 of those. I would like to get myself a larger version of these 2 right here. This is the 2-ounce Monarch bar and the 3-ounce Monarch bar, and I would like to get myself the 5-ounce Monarch bar. I am strongly considering getting myself my very first 1 kilo silver bar. But the most important thing, my number one goal right now, what I'm truly a man on a mission for right now, is a buffalo. Not a silver buffalo, a gold buffalo. I want that 1-ounce gold buffalo coin. I've wanted it for 7 years. I guess you can say I didn't want it bad enough to commit to getting it, because I could have, at some point over the last 7 years, I could have very well done it. And like I said, spot price of silver and gold were significantly lower 7 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago than it is today. So technically it would have been easier to get it back then, but I wasn't committed to it. Now I am. So yeah, I am working my way up toward a gold buffalo. And I would hopefully like to be able to get one at the end of the year, maybe early next year. I would like to have a gold buffalo in my possession within the next 365 days. I don't think it's going to be mission impossible, but it's something that I'm using one particular income stream for. Operation Stampede. It's going to be a bunch of silver buffaloes, followed by a singular gold buffalo. That's the plan. That's the mission. That's the operation. And I'd love to know your thoughts. How much silver are you picking up? How often are you picking up silver? Do you kind of like the whole 1 troy ounce every week concept? If you're in the financial position to get more than that, and that's what you're doing, fantastic. But if it's something that you think you can do, it's something that you think you can manage, and it's not what you're doing, and you like the idea of it, and you're going to give it a shot, give it a shot. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. And follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. 4 super quick things as we wrap up the video. Number 1, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to start investing, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. Webull link in the description. They make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate around on the app. And remember, I am planning on taking 3 people before the end of April and helping them learn about the stock market and helping them kickstart their investment portfolios. I've already helped 2. 1 to go. It's my goal for the month of April. If you'd like to be that last person, please reach out. Webull link in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, whether it be anti-tarnish paper, whether it be currency sleeves, mini lock boxes, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. And once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. What are your thoughts on my 1 ounce of silver every single week concept? What are your thoughts on my Operation Stampede concept? Is this something that you're going to be joining me with or joining me on? Is this something that you're going to be participating in as well? Is this something that you're going to be going after? Maybe you're after a 1 ounce gold buffalo as well, or your very first 1 ounce gold coin. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.